Hello dear friends, welcome to Shiksha Mantra, and as you can see today we are here with another chapter from vocabulary. So our focus would remain on English vocabulary today. So what would we discuss? Today we discuss about some terms and we must consider these terms. That's why our topic today is terms to consider. Obviously, you'd like to know what term we are talking about. So let's shift to the next slide. Here you'd see three different terms: homophones, homographs, and also homonyms. So again, I'm repeating, it's homophones, homographs, and homonyms. Now, what's the difference in between these three terms? So our focus would remain on the difference among these three terms. So we'd learn the difference between homophones, homographs, and homonyms. So let's check it out. These three terms are often confused thanks to their identical prefixes. So the root of the confusion is their identical prefixes, that is homo. It's the suffix that makes all the difference in this case though. So suffix different but prefix identical. So these three words are with identical prefixes but different suffixes. So let's get a closer look about them. So the first one under our microscope is homophones. So learn what is homophones. Homophones are words that sound alike thanks to that all important suffix phone, and that phone means sound. So homophones, that is, they are the words those which have the same sound but different meaning, and they are often spelled differently. So here we'd have to consider three different things: that they have the same sound but different meaning and often spelled differently. So homophones, it's related to phone or sound, and the sounds are homo, that is similar or very much equal. So this is how we'd treat homophones, but we'd have to get a bit detail about this. For example, consider the word fate and fate. Fate is an inevitable outcome, but fate is a festival or party. So homophones may or may not be spelled the same because the definition is really about the sound. Don't go after spelling. They may be spelled differently, but your focus would remain on the sound. So sound is the all important thing here as it's related to phones. Here we have some other examples like mat and mat, two and two. So these are the examples of homophones, different spelling but the same sounding words with different meanings. So here our next candidate to consider, and our next candidate is homographs. Again, the same thing. Let's scan homographs and find out what comes out in our scanner. Homographs are words that are spelled the same as indicated by the suffix graph, which means writing. So homographs have the same spelling but different meanings and usually different pronunciations. So here we had also three different points to consider, and these three different points are same spelling, number one, number two, different meanings, and number three, usually different pronunciations. So here for homographs, our focus would remain on the graphs, the word graphs, which means writing. So here would find same spelling, but everywhere the meanings would remain different. So let's consider some detail about homographs. For example, consider the words tear and tear. Tear can mean drops of water from the eyes. On the other hand, it can mean to rip paper into pieces. Either way, the spelling is the same, but not the meaning or the sound. So everywhere you get tear, the same spelling, but what's there? The meaning is different. So sound remains confusing, though we'd have to consider the sense, the meaning by contextualizing this. And now here we have some other examples of homographs, that is bow, to bend at the waist, bow, a piece of archery equipment. The same thing happens with entrance, that is to hold one's attention, or entrance, or doorway. So that's how we may deal with homographs. And now in our scanner we have found homonyms. So here to focus, names. We have told about the similar prefixes but different suffixes now. So homonyms. Homonyms have characteristics of both homophones and homographs. As mentioned, they are words that are spelled alike like homographs and sound alike like homophones. So here you'd have to reconsider homonyms. Just put your ultimate focus that this is an amalgamation of homophones and homographs, but in which way? They are spelled alike, that is like homographs, and sound alike, that is like homophones, and finally it comes out as homonyms. So let's check out a detail about this. Homonyms are special case and they are best thought of as the center portion of a Venn diagram that shows the overlap between homophones and one half and homographs in the other. So we'd have to understand this with a sense of a Venn diagram. So there would be an overlap, homophones and homonyms. So that overlap is to consider here by these examples. Bear, an animal, bear, to withstand or hold up. So if you consider this, it produces the same phones, that is sound. It produces the same spelling, that is graph, and also it produces different meanings. So here you get the characteristics of both homographs and homophones. So here, homonyms. So here we may consider can, a metal container, or can that is able to. So this is our homonyms, where we get what? We get homographs as well as homophones. So this is what we have considered here. This is our consideration. So you must consider these well and you must remember them so that in future we don't mug them up. And you must stay here with Shiksha Mantra to learn many such, yes, very much important things, and they would obviously support your process of English learning. So stay tuned, wait for our next video. Until then, bye bye.